All right, my name is Opeyemi Shokunbi. I'm here this week again to engage us on how to build a system, a success system, not, trying to do things by willpower. Yes, I know last week we spoke about greed, but we'll double down on how you build and win forever by creating self-sustaining success systems. My name is Opeyemi Shokunbi. I'm Chief Technology Officer at Press1 Africa, where we help you to transform your messaging and conversation with your customers across messaging and voice channel. If you have any challenge in that regard, please reach out and we'll be glad to help. All right. Now, one of the message I'd love you to get and really understand today is that goals tell you where to go. Systems get you there and keep you there. With your goals, you are looking at what do I want to achieve. But when you then build a system, the system is what will get you there and keep you there. All right. So if you want to improve, you have been struggling with your consistency, you want to improve on your consistency. You've always had goals, but scattered and shattered execution. And then, you've seen yourself achieve things at some point in time, but you can't sustain them. This session is meant for you. At the end of this session, I believe you should have a blueprint to build systems that generate results automatically, even when you are tired, even when you are discouraged, and even when you don't feel motivated. You will then have that system that will help you to be able to continue at a consistent, sustainable level. All right, so last week we spoke about greed. We spoke about how to ensure you show up even when you don't feel like it. We spoke about how you go through the dark alleys, go through the valley, and you push yourself through. But here is one thing I need us to really understand. You can't grit your way through everything. If you are relying on willpower every single day to do what needs to be done, you are going to burn out. And sadly speaking, it doesn't matter how much of grit that you have. So today, I'm going to show you something more powerful than willpower. I'm going to show you how you can build systems and use those systems to achieve your goal. You learn the system today, you learn to build them, and immediately you learn how to build it and perfect it. It continues to work for you, and you continue to win in all that you do and all you need to do. Now, one of the things that happens with willpower is that it's a finite resource. After a while, there is something we call decision fatigue. You just get tired. You just get drained. And as you try to grit it or use your willpower to do what you need to do, it's almost as if you are using up the fuel in your tank. So you drain that tank from, as you go on that willpower until there'll be nothing there. And if in a typical day, you are just pushing and pushing and pushing and pushing and pushing, I can tell you that by 2 p.m. or 3 p.m. latest, your willpower is almost gone. Your battery is almost flat. And that's why you start strong in January, and by the time you see yourself in February, you have faded out. Now, I spoke about my journey at Nestle, and I spoke about how I struggled for about 5 to 7 years. There was no promotion, and I said that grit, helped. Yes, very valid. I try to motivate myself every morning to say, yes, today is the day you will prove yourself. You'll get there, things will get done. But I can tell you that there are days that when I show up to work, I am totally drained. I'm totally out. I'm not excited to work, and then I see myself apply 10, 15 vacancies, just looking for random jobs everywhere, applying. because, that's the only way I could, push out my frustration. But what changed? I stopped relying on motivation, and then I moved a step further to build a system that works. All right. So we move. And in taking a shift, the first thing I want us to understand is that goals are about results. Your goals helps you have a window into how you can achieve the objectives you have in mind. However, systems are about processes, and focus on the system and results become inevitable if you take yourself through this shift. Now, James Clear has a very, very suitable quote that applies here. He says, you don't rise to the level of your goals, you fall to the level of your systems. The 4 pillars of unbreakable systems. All right. And I'm going to lean on my going to 2 decades of experience in business, coaching, and leadership. I have come to understand that every system that works has these pillars. And when you remove one of these pillars, almost every time I see a system collapse. And I have seen it work from time to time, and I would love to share it with all of us this time. And I hope it's going to be exciting for you to put it to use. And we'll be using some live scenarios to point out how you can get results by leveraging on these 4 pillars. Now, pillar number 1 is clarity. Now, one of the challenge we see is that you can't build a system around big goals. You have to be crystal clear in defining what you want to achieve, why it matters to you, when you will achieve it, the time that by that time you'd have achieved that goal, and how you will measure success. The solution to clarity is to have crystal clear definition of what you want to achieve, why it matters to you, when you will achieve it, and how you will measure success. Now, I'd love us to take any goals you have right now, any goals, and let's turn it into a system-ready goal. Now, one of the things you learn about goals, or you hear people say, is that your goals should be SMART. It should be specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and time-bound. That is synonymous to what I have here to say, that what you want to achieve, why it matters to you, when you will achieve it, that's the time, and how you will measure it. All right. So if you have any goals you want us to turn to a system-ready goal, drop it in the comments and we'll work on it together. But I have a very simple example here for us. An example of a big goal is, I want to grow my business. That is wish. A system-ready goals for what I just spoke about will say that by 31st of March, I will acquire 50 new B2B clients, generating 5 million in revenue by posting 3 times weekly on LinkedIn or TikTok or Instagram, making 20 outbound calls per week, and hosting monthly webinars on maybe YouTube, LinkedIn, or wherever. Now, when you look at the difference, the vague goal says, I want to grow my business. But the system-ready goals spoke about the time, the number of customers that will be acquired or reached, the revenue that will be generated, the activities that will back up achieving those objectives, and many more. And when you look at the difference, one is like a fog, you just can't see through it. It's just there. If you drive through a fog, you will understand that you can't see the front clearly. You might even end up having an accident. But the other is a blueprint. So in the comments, I want you to share one goal you have, and we are going to make a system ready together. One thing I would love you to understand is that the checklist for you to do that, and I don't mind if you want to do it yourself or you want me to do it with you, is that there must be a specific outcome, there must be a measurable metric, there must be clear deadline to achieving that goal, and then the actions that will be taken to achieve that goal. Remember, the first pillar we are speaking about is clarity. All right, so I move on. Now, pillar number 2 is consistency. The challenge is that you know what you want to do quite all right, but you don't do it consistently. That is a challenge. And the solution is to remove the need for daily decisions. Consistency doesn't come from discipline, it comes from design. And this is why you see that in corporate environments, people says, go and book my calendar, go and do this, go and do that, because there are chances that things can slip through the cracks. There are chances that you can forget about things. There are chances that you can miss the things you have agreed with someone. But if it is recorded in your calendar, obviously the meeting will happen. If it is sent over an email, definitely there is a conversation that happened and was clearly and properly documented. So you should stop trying to be consistent. You need to build an environment where consistency is done by default. All right, so the builders that I will share with us to help us with consistency are 3 things: time blocking, trigger stacking, and environment design. But time blocking is when I spoke about your calendar, non-negotiable appointments. You don't schedule your goals around your life. You schedule your life around your goals. Build a schedule around your life to say things like every Monday, every Wednesday, every Friday between the hour of 6 to 7 a.m. I will do this or that. For example, it might be content creation time. You post the content online, or it might be hitting the gym to do your morning exercise. Period. That's it. Not that you say that, when I wake up and I feel like I'll go to the gym. No, that's not going to work. All right. The next one is trigger stacking, habit chaining. Attach new behaviors to existing routine. There are some things that are already concrete in your life that you do them daily, whether you like it or not. Those are routine. For example, after my morning coffee, I will write for 30 minutes. So you will always take your morning coffee because that seems to be like an habit for you. So connect another activity to it and you see yourself able to do it consistently. Now, the existing habit triggers the new one automatically. Now, environment design, which is the third one, is that you need to make it easier to do than not do. You need to find a way that your environment should pull you towards that behavior, not that it just leaves you or gives you chance to do anything that you want to do. Example is, you want to get early to church or get early to an appointment the following day. Get the clothes that you wear out the night before and hang it out. You will see yourself, doing everything that you need to do on time and getting out of the house. Another example is your gym clothes. You can lay it out in a place that the first thing you see when you wake up are those gym clothes. Another example is for environment design is when you are doing something that is very, very intense, serious. You can put your phone on airplane mode, and that will reduce any chance that anything will, come in to disturb you. There are also times that you set your phones on, do not disturb for some particular time. You can time, whether it's not even necessarily your sleeping time, just time it appropriately and you see yourself doing it consistently. Now, for me as a founder, I knew I needed to stay close to customers. So I find a way to build a system around it. And every certain time of the week, at a particular time, it's meant to be dedicated for customer calls, no exception. And I built it into my calendar. I'm building it into my calendar, make sure that there's nothing else that can conflict with it or nothing else comes with it. I don't decide each week whether I feel like talking to the customers or not. The system has already decided that for me. Another example is, my session here on LinkedIn. Is not something that I will think about doing any longer, but week on week, I will show up because there is a system that has been built around it. The time to create the content, the time to go through the content, and then the time to execute, how the session is going to happen. All right, so a quick one, interactive exercise. Now think about one behavior you should do consistently, but don't. Now you can comment it below. Now what you then need to do is to now look at all these tactics I've mentioned about how to be consistent. You can ask yourself, when will you do it going forward? That is time blocking. What existing habit will trigger it as a trigger stacking? And then how can you make it easier? What are you going to do to make it easier for you to do that? Now, let's build your consistency system right now. So one thing I love you to do is put it in the comments and let's do the exercise together. So think about one habit you should do consistently but don't. Comment it below. You now need to answer those 3 things. Okay, thank you, Seth, for quoting. My goal, I want to grow my business. The system ready goal, I want to get 10 customers at the end of March. All right, I think that is not absolutely locked down yet. There are some things you need to do around that. One of the things you need to look at is, how are you going to measure that success? You say you want to get 10 customers at the end of March. What would those 10 customers do for you? Are they going to bring revenue? Will you consider it as growth? What channels will they come through? How will you, ensure that you are measuring and you are not waiting till March before there are surprises? How will you know in February if you're on track or you're not on track? This you need to consider. So you need to also say to yourself that these 10 customers, are they coming from one source, one channel? So if they are not coming from one channel, you need to then know exactly how you get them. So for example, you can say that I want to get 10 paying customers at the end of March to generate 2 million naira using so channel. Maybe you can say you want to use Facebook ad to reach out to them and get them, or you want to create content on your social media to attract the leads and then find the wins to convert them. So there's a little more that you need to do to that goal, but there is a progress there. All right, so think about one behavior you should do consistently but don't, and then comment it below. All right, so we'll move on quickly to pillar number 3, and that is calibration. Now you build a system but never check if it is working, meaning that you just build the system and say, oh, I've built the system, I hope it is working. No, there must be regular reviews and adjustments to ensure or to see if you are on track. Just like I was saying to set goal now, you want to acquire 10 customers by the end of March. At the end of February, how many customers would you have attracted or gotten to help you know that you are on track to achieve the March objective? You can't wait to the end of March and then you see yourself having surprises. Now, I've likened it to a system we all know very well. A system without calibration is synonymous to a plane or a rocket without a GPS. It's just a matter of time that you drift off course and never know it. You just be drifting. Imagine a plane that leaves Lagos and says it's going to Ghana and there's no GPS. Nothing tracking, nothing showing you're on the right path, and this is how you get there. You could end up seeing yourself in maybe Burkina Faso or somewhere else, and that's really critical. So how do you create this review system? I'd love to speak about 3 to 4 options. You have the daily check, the 5-minute power check that happens every end of day, to ask yourself some simple questions such as, did I execute my systems today? What worked? What blocked me? And then tomorrow I will do this. Now, if you use a to-do plan, this will also be very, very helpful, because that tomorrow I will do this, you will list it as your to-do for the end of that for the following day. And then at the end of the day, you'll be asking yourself, Did I execute my system today? Yes or no, or partially? What worked? What blocked me? Now, on a weekly note, you then do a progress audit, which can happen every Friday or depending on you, anytime. But let it be a specific time of the week consistently. Now, did I hit my weekly targets? What pattern am I seeing? What needs to change? From there, you move to the monthly, and you can go on also to the quarterly and the annually. But for the quarterly, this is a strategic reset. Every 90 days, you need to do a deep dive to say, am I on track towards the big goal? The goal I want to achieve for this year, am I on track? What's working that I should amplify? What's failing that I should eliminate? Do I need to redesign any part of my system? These are the best ways to do these strategic resets. And I can tell you for free that in my IT leadership role, we had, until date, we still have them. We have SLAs, that's service level agreements, and this measures everything. The SLA is always external facing, a contractor's obligation to be fulfilled to the business or to the organization I'm with. While if it is internal, we call that service level objective. If a customer internally has an issue and it comes reported to IT, how long will it take IT to fulfill our obligation or its obligation to help the customer achieve their objective? That's called service level objective. And you realize that most of us, we have all these technical things that works for us in our offices, but in our personal goals and life, we have nothing. So once I started treating my personal goals with the same rigor as my professional KPIs, everything changed. I started tracking, measuring, adjusting. My system got better every single month. Now, one of the things that I would love to encourage you to use is what I call evidence journal. Every Friday, write down 3 wins this week, 2 lessons learned, and 1 thing to improve. 3 wins this week, 2 lessons learned, and then 1 thing to improve. That's 5 to 10 minutes, but it keeps you calibrated. So that's critical. That's important. Now, when was the last time you actually reviewed your progress towards your goal? Now, not just thought about it, you actually sat down and reviewed your goals. I'd love you to comment. Was it this week, this month, this quarter, or can't remember? I'd love to hear from you. I'd love to see your comment. And I'd love you to be honest. Now, the last but not the least is pillar number 4, and that is community. Community. Now, the challenge is that you are trying to build your system alone, just by yourself, keeping it to yourself. And what I'm proposing to you today is that you need to build accountability and support into the system itself. You cannot system build in isolation. And community isn't a nice to have, it is a pillar. Community is one of the major challenges that young professionals are missing in scaling their growth and their potential in this time and generation. There are 3 types of community that you can find and can help you. Anyone that you start with is good enough. The first one is what I call an accountability partner. Someone who checks in on your system on a periodic, time frame or timeline. If what works for you is weekly, monthly, quarterly, annually, try to find that partner. I would suggest you do max of monthly so that it's very clear that you are doing what you should be doing. Now, you don't need a cheerleader, someone that will say, good job, keep it up, you can do better. No, you need a truth teller, someone that will tell you as it is. And when it's even uncomfortable truth or fact, the person will not hesitate to tell you as it is. The person will ask you, did you do what you said you would do and you have planned to do? That's what the person is going to ask you. And the person is going to be very real and direct with you. And this is really, really important. It's important because you don't need someone that will just be smiling with you and be saying that's good enough. I know you'll get there one day. No, you need someone that will tell you that, A, you are falling short. You said you will do this, you will do this. What's holding you back? Now get your act together and get things done. All right, the next one is a mentor, a guide, or a coach. Now, someone who has built the system you are trying to build before will easily help you on the journey of life. Someone who can, spot your blind spots, the things that you will never think about, imagine, or know. This person has gone ahead of you, passed through the similar route, and can, nudge you on the steps you take. Now, someone who can also offer wisdom from their own mirror or lens or journey experience. You need this kind of people in your community and in your life. Now, the last but not least is the peer group. You need people who are similar to you by nature. If you're an IT professional, find a community of IT professionals. If you're a builder or a founder, find a community of builders who will, who have similar issues or challenges like you. These people are building their own systems alongside with you. They will share their struggles, share their wins, share their challenges, share their opportunities. And in these circumstances, we have the experience of the iron that sharpens the other iron. All right, please don't forsake these 3 types of community that can help you scale the system that you are building. All right, accountability partner, mentor, guide, or coach, and the peer group. And each one of them will help you tremendously. Now, when I moved from corporate life to entrepreneurship, I joined founder peer groups, groups that will meet from time to time, and we are able to speak to each other as to how the marketplace is. I have a group where we meet weekly. I have the one where we meet monthly. I have quarterly. I have annually. So it's not compulsory that you just stick to one group. You can be in multiple groups depending on the challenge you love to combat. Now, this group didn't just, encourage me. They challenged me to be better. They showed me how they are doing things in their own end and how I can do things differently. I learned from them some of the things that I could also have made mistake on, and I shared with them some of my own mistakes also that they shouldn't also repeat. And there are some that as we are sharing or we are telling each other, oh, I've done this, I've done that, everyone will just laugh and say, all of us get the same problem. So you need that kind of community. All right, they ask hard questions, they held me to my commitments. My business had positive impact because of all the communities that I found myself and I belong to. Now, the question now is, who are your people? And if you don't have them yet, you have to start building them. You have to look for a community where you think what they are doing in that community resonates with you and it will help you achieve some of your objectives. You have them on Meetup, you have them on LinkedIn, you have them everywhere. There are groups that you can join and you will have your peer also around there. Check online also, you have quite a number of them. Now, comment below if you are looking for an accountability partner, and let's connect, people right here in this session. If there is anyone who has been commenting, you can go look at their profile. If you like their profile, you can, reach out to them, and we can have a beautiful opportunity of having your accountability partner come out from this community or conversation that we are having. Thank you for joining me, and I hope it's been an engaging time so far as we wrap up the 4 C's of the 4 pillars of building unbreakable systems. And we spoke about clarity, consistency, calibration, and last but not least, community. Now, how do you transit that these systems or these processes we're talking about will then become second nature to you? All right, so let me reiterate again that for you to go on this transformation journey, you need to see building this system as a process It's not a one-day event that you just put an Excel sheet, I will do this, I will do this, I will do this, and then you go on. No, it's a process. And there are several windows that you need to explore to achieve this process and make it something that becomes a functional part of you, something that you get to do and become second nature to you. All right. Some psychologists believe that you need a 21-day window to start forming an habit. And that in these first 21 days, you are going to repeat the same thing. It's about repetition. When you repeat that thing that you are doing over and over for 21 days, then they believe you have the opportunity to form an habit. Now, again, because that system is there and you have counted all the things you are going to do, you are going to be fighting resistance every day. Something will say, oh, I'm tired, but you know that, hey, by 7 p.m. I have to do this. By 8 p.m. I have to do this, despite the fact that you are tired. So that repetition will help you build, the formation of that new habit that you want to bring up. Now, just like grit that will say, just show up, don't worry about perfection. That's the same way you start in these first 21 days. Your system will feel hard here, no problem, but just start and don't think about it being perfect. Now, the next set of 45 days will then make this window, if you continue to do it, make it automatic. It makes it easy for you to, get into that vibe, get into that nature, get things done. If you go through it for that next 66 days. Now, it's not like things will get easier. It's not going to get easier. But remember, you have them calendarized, you have them documented, you have someone at the end of that month that will ask you, what have you achieved, what have you done? So with all this put in place, you will be able to go through your 66 days. And it will just move away from something that you are struggling to do to something that then becomes second nature. It becomes part of your journey and the experience you are building. And then to conclude the transformation is a period of 90 days. You would see yourself becoming that system that you are trying to create. If for 90 days, you will do the same thing over and over and over and over, you will become that system, because there are guides and things that are nudging you to get things done. Now, it's not going to be, no longer something you do, now becomes who you are. And, just like you have your money compounding, that's the same way results will compound. And when you get results that is compounding, it gives you a leverage to feel like, oh, I can do more. And by the end of that 90 days, which is the next 3 months, by the time you look back, you ask yourself, wow, did I really do this? That is the amount of transformation that you will see. When you look back, you will not believe the progress that you would have seen or you would have achieved. Now, one of the things I can say is that when I started my LinkedIn live session, it was pretty tough, it was pretty hard. Creating the collateral, creating the messaging, showing up to speak was pretty hard. But guess what? I've been on it now for a while and it looks a bit, second nature, close to, routine for me. I've done it now for, I think, should be about over 6 months. Yes, over 6 months. And during the festive period when I didn't, show up on LinkedIn here, I missed it. So it's no longer a willpower thing. It's now a system that is built around how I'm able to deliver and achieve my objective. All right. The framework I love to speak about the 90 days is, break it into like week 1 to 3. You build, you define your system. I will suggest the 4 pillars. You set up your environment, how you prefer to, get into building and achieving your objective. You schedule everything. Let your calendar, be scheduled for everything. And then you look for someone to announce your commitments to. All right. From week 4 to 8, you get into the grinding stage, where you have to execute daily. That's, you have to just keep executing. This is where grit is useful. All right. You then need to track everything. So you are not saying I will do this and then you're not tracking whether you have done it, or you move it forward to another time. Then the weekly reviews comes in here also, and you need to understand that nothing is constant, so things are fluid. If something is on your goal and is no longer relevant, yank it off. If something is not there, is necessary, bring it in. And then several other patterns. And then in the final week 9 to 12, you would have seen yourself achieving the breakthrough. The system will become automatic, results will start showing, and then you can calibrate for the next 90 days. You celebrate your wins and see how you can scale it or how you can optimize any part of the 90 days session or system building. Now, just a very interesting opinion. If peradventure you have looked at yourself and you say that, oh, I want to be consistent at what I'm doing, I don't want to do it today and not do it tomorrow, I'd love to suggest to you that you need to start a 90-day system sprint today or latest Monday. Now, if you start today, the question would be that what would your life look like by 15th of April, which is exactly 3 months from now? What system would you have built? What would you do different from the time past? Share in the comments and paint a picture of how it's going to look. Be excited, you'll be happy, to be transformational. It's going to get you closer to your financial goals and objectives. Write it in the comment section. All right, thank you for joining me. I'm excited to have you here, and I hope we are learning one thing or the other. As we close out, let's just walk through the 4 pillars of building a system again. Number 1, we spoke about clarity. What exactly do you want? By when and how will you measure it? Number 2, we spoke about consistency. What are your daily, weekly, monthly, quarterly, and annual, actions that you need to put in place? When will you do them? And what's your trigger? By calibration, we say that how will you review progress? Is it going to be a daily review, weekly review, monthly review, annual review? And the last but not the least is community. Who would hold you accountable? Who is going to be in your support system that you can confide in and say, oh, this is what I want to do, and whether you do it or not, the person is not going to just watch you undo yourself. The person will come hard at you and give you concrete feedback on what you've committed versus what you deliver. Now, what it means is that if you build with this pattern, you would have built just once, and it will continue to win and unlock opportunities for you all through your professional life, your journey as a founder, journey as a businessman, and that's exactly what it looks. Now, one thing I love us to do or understand today is that all this information is useless if you don't implement it in your life. In fact, it's going to be tantamount to just entertainment. I have shown up, I've spoken, and that's it. So what I love us to do is that I want us to pick on what I call 90-day system challenge. And this is starting from next week, Monday. I'll need you to build one system around one goal using the 4 pillars we've learned today. You build one system around one goal using the 4 pillars we've learned today, which is clarity, consistency, calibration, and community. All right, so my commitment to you is that if you build the system and run it for 90 days, your life will not be the same. Not because of motivation, not because of willpower, but simply because you built a machine that produces results automatically. You build once, and then you are winning forever. Now, I release you to go and build. Go and build, go and build, go and build, go and build. All right, next week is going to be another exciting, engaging session. Thank you everyone for joining. I'm excited, I'm grateful, I'm glad that you make out time. I would love to bring the curtain to a close here. Thank you so much to everyone that joined. Thank you, Seth. Thank you, Samuel. Thank you, Motara. I hope you've learned one or two things. Please go and build your 90-day system. Let's take it up as a challenge. And I hope at the end of the next 3 months, you'd have achieved and accomplished something great for yourself. Thank you for now, and see you next time.